Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Round 6 here at Charlotte for the 2019 Sony Cup Series Championship season. Before we get to our 100-lap race here at Charlotte, some news to run down. Martin Motorsports is no more. Martin Motorsports, who has been one of our longest-standing teams in the Sony Cup Series, is now renovating into Martin Rodriguez Motorsports. And that means that Martin Rodriguez Motorsports is now combined to be Martin Motorsports and Rodriguez Racing. Rodriguez Racing is folding into Martin Motorsports and is now being ran by Matthew Rodriguez, who is an owner-driver now for this season, and now has got a lot of roles to pick up here running the Martin Motorsports team. This team has had a lot of engine failures recently, and a change of leadership is probably needed here. And so a team name and a lot of changes have came from that race team, and it seems to be helping here in their first race with the new change, as John Art and Dom Capps, who has really struggled this season, they qualified second and fourth, and they practiced very well for this race weekend. So it looks like John Art and Dom Capps have some race cars that are capable of running up towards the front. So we'll see how that plays out. But Ryan Acosta has dominated this weekend. He was quickest in practice, quickest for qualifying. He'll lead us down for the green. And his teammates of Chris Dodd and Ryan Griffin have also been pretty quick this race weekend. Allen Family Racing Team has won 4 of the last 5 races. And it looks as though the Allen Family Racing Team is the team to beat. Reamp Motorsports has also been like the second best team. They're the only other team that has won a race this season. Has anyone else going to step up and take a race win? The only 2 teams to win have been Allen Family Racing Team and Yamp Motorsports. Is that going to change today? Gonna wait and see and find out. As the field of 42 get ready to roll off. Some other headlines we need to go over. Matthew Rodriguez was down a cylinder in qualifying, so it seems as though a 5th race weekend in a row, they still have not shaken them engine failures. So he is in the back, along with Charlie Smith with unapproved adjustments. Eric DeMax will be driving for Fuel Brothers Racing, as they will have an alliance with the new Martin Rodriguez Motorsports team. And Eric DeMax being helped by the Martin Rodriguez team, but up towards the front. You see a pair of Dodges all on the bottom, and then there's a few Toyotas up on the top. Is Toyota back? Are they going to be able to compete with these guys? Arndt's going to be on the outside line, but Acosta has not won a race yet this season. Can he do it? He's going to lead us to the green. 100 laps of racing, 150 miles for tonight's race, and the green flag is flying. Route 6 of Charlotte is underway. Very good start by Ryan Acosta. Chris Dodd moved his way up to second. John Art really got shuffled. And here comes Finn Guy with a great start. Look at Finn Guy getting the bite on the bottom. Ryan Griffin's there. Dejon Weeks is there. Man, it didn't take them long, but here comes Weeks underneath of Ryan Griffin. And whoa, boy, nearly contacting on lap 2 of the race in turns 1. Dejon Weeks, Ryan Griffin went toe-to-toe in the final few laps of Charlotte. And it ended up being Ryan Griffin that came out victorious, but up towards the front. It is Jeffrey Finguy trying to get around the National Guard scheme of Ryan Acosta. And Jeffrey Finguy, 5 top 10s to start the 5 races this season. A brilliant start for Finguy in the 2019 season. And he's trying to get the lead, and indeed he does, around Ryan Acosta. Dejon Weeks, Ryan Griffin continuing to race for that 3rd position. And it looks as though Weeks is going to be able to get it as they run side by side. The front 2 are starting to pull away. The battle for 5th. Chris Dodd trying to hang on to it, trying to take it away, really, from Dom Capps. Capps slides out of the top 5. So it looks as though the Toyotas are slow going, as Arndt seems like he's out of the top 10. And look at James Richardson, a great run in qualifying. He's running side by side with his old boss of Jesse Turner. James Richardson ran so well in the Hardee's National Series Return Performance for many seasons, and now he's racing in the Cup Series side by side with his old boss. So a round of applause for that 34 team. They have really really turned the heat up for this season, and they've overperformed, really, in my opinion. And Richardson doing a hand of a job right now. Dylan Young, who has been very good this season, is trying to work his way around TJ Martin. Dom Caps still wanting to put up a fight. He's right there on the back bumper of that 88. These cars really do fly around this racetrack. They'll go in the corners about 200 miles an hour, but have to lift to about 180 with this new repave of on this racetrack. So great racing right now. Martin getting shuffled just a little bit, but up towards the front. Dejon Weeks has gotten his way around Ryan Acosta. Acosta has drifted back just a bit, and Ryan Griffin, his teammate, has moved his way up to third. Coming to lap 10 of the race, I bet you can tell right now. Look at this. The Allen Family Racing cars and the Yamp Motorsport cars are up towards the front, and they're kind of pulling the gap on the rest of the field right now. Dylan Young's kind of at the cutoff mark. As you see further back, Jordan Davis is also making his way up towards the front, trying to cut his way through traffic and make his way into the top 10. But those two teams, like I mentioned in the pre-race, they have been unstoppable in the first 5 races, and around 6, it looks no different. They have been the best team, and going into next week for the break, when we get the Easter break, I bet you teams are really going to be cracking down on trying to bring some really top-notch cars, because they have been the teams to beat. But up towards the front, Dejon Weeks is trying to get around Jeffrey Fenguy here for the race lead. Like I said, Allen Family Racing Team and Yamp Motorsports have been bringing the heat in the first 5 races, and they've been so good. Every other team behind them have their work cut out for them, and they have to find a way to catch up, because these two teams have been unstoppable right now. Look at Griffin moving his way up to second past affiliate teammate Jeffrey Fenguy. He's up to second. Weeks is now your new leader. And Davis continues to march his way towards the front, getting around Dom Caps. That is for 7th position. But here comes Ryan Griffin to the inside of Dejon Weeks. These two ran so well together at California all season so far. Griffin and Weeks have welcomed the battle between each other. They have stated to the media outside the track and right here at the race weekend that they look forward to it. They look forward to racing each other side by side like they're doing right now. Front 4 breaking away just ever so slowly. The pole sitter is there, looking for a position on Fenguy there. Ryan Acosta looking to get his 45 Dodge back to victory lane. He hasn't won a race in quite some time. It's been since Daytona of 2017. And what it would be if Acosta can get that National Guard scheme back to victory lane. But Griffin and Weeks continue to race door to door, and Griffin peeking out front with the race lead. Further back for 5th, teammates going at it. Really not racing that hard for it, but Davis has got a nose underneath the 88. And I tell you what, you better look out for Dylan Young and even Jordan Davis this season. Davis has came into this season with a vengeance after last year, moving away from Mace Enterprises. And Jordan Davis wants to be a part of what everyone's talking about with Dejon Weeks. Weeks has been talked highly in the garage area to be the #1 driver in Yamp Motorsports, but that has not really been the case, as Davis and Young have really stated their case this season, and I wouldn't be surprised if you see Davis or Young really take it to the field in some of these races this year. They look evenly as strong and look like this could be a really good year for both Young, Davis, and even Weeks. They're nearly 3 wide for the lead up here, though. Look at Fenguy underneath the Dejon Weeks. Man, Griffin had a lift there. He's outside the racing line. Fenguy, what a move by Jeffrey Fenguy on the leaders. And Fenguy with a nose out front, but Weeks challenging back. Griffin, though, on the bottom. And look at there. The Dodges trying to gang up on the 38. Is Griffin going to make it 3 wide again? Griffin's like, you know what, Fenguy? Let's race 3 wide into 3 again. But can't quite pull it off as good as Fenguy. Nearly contact. Man, if that would have been anyone else, if that would have been Jordan Davis or anybody else right there with Fenguy, they would not have lifted. And Fenguy probably would have been spinning around on the inside. But Griffin gave Fenguy a little bit of respect there. And they're still side by side with the 38. Some fantastic racing for the lead early on here at Charlotte. Finn Guy with the nose out front again, but Weeks determined to hang on while they race side by side, double file at the front. Jordan Davis and Dylan Young have been running these guys down. Up further behind them, Chris Dodd and Dom Capps, along with Jesse Turner. That is for the 8th, 7th, 8th, and 9th position. They're also not that far behind either. But again, this battle's been so fun to watch. Look at there, Weeks bobbled just a little bit. Dejon Weeks gets a little bit sideways, and he's going to lose a handful of positions, if not all of these race cars going by him. But his teammates are coming to play of the Jordan Davis machine and Dylan Young. They're right there. And man, what a fight we're watching. The Allen Family Racing Team cars and the Yamp Motorsport cars. This is fun to see. Caution flag is out. A wreck down the back straightaway involving Williams, DeLeo, Smith, and somebody else. That's Johnny Gardner. Some cars piled up down there in turn 2. Here's what happened. PJ Williams has a problem in turn 2. Checks up. Cars trying to get by. Merrick DeMax actually gets a little bit of damage as well. Matt DeLeo hits Williams. Didn't see him checking up that fast. Gardner piled into him. Charlie Smith was there. And all the FBR cars, all the Field Brothers Racing cars, got in piece of that. Williams goes out of the race. And looks like DeLeo will as well. The only car that looked like may be able to carry on is the Johnny Gardner machine, but he's even torn up as well. Well, that caution flag right here on lap 24 has left for some interesting strategy calls. Most of the field has came down pit road to pit. But up towards the front, you have about 7 race cars that did not pit. And then it's Ryan Griffin, Dejon Weeks, Dylan Young, Charles Sanford, Kyle Collins, and Matthew Rodriguez. Rodriguez, who started out back, is up to 7th place. So interesting strategy calls to keep these guys out. But leaving pit road first is Jeffrey Finn Guy with Jordan Davis, Jesse Turner, and Ryan Acosta. It's going to be interesting to see how these fresh tires play against the old tires. Coming back to the restart. Williams, DeLeo, and Smith are out of the race, and they will be the 3 cars that score no points. Johnny Gardner did get back going, but he is very slow. Look at the 32. And he could be a hazard here for this restart. He is just very off base, and that was a bad choice, Ryan. Griffin, that's not Griffin, that is Acosta. Acosta goes to the bottom and is going to be held up behind the 32. That allows a handful of race cars to get around. So Finn Guy, Davis, Turner, and Lewis have fresh tires and got around the 32. Up towards the front, Weeks pulls out on Ryan Griffin. And again, racing door-to-door for the race lead. Griffin trying to hang on. But man, that lap car really slowed up a handful of guys. The pack struggling to get around that 32. Capps leads the pack. Dylan Young trying to move his way up to 2nd place. Underneath at the 43, and Griffin has nothing for Young. Griffin really slow to get up to speed as Dylan Young's up to 2nd. Jeffrey Finn Guy trying to slice and dice through the cars that did stay out. Kyle Collins, Charles Sanford are right up in front of him, and Finn Guy trying to go around the outside of Kyle Collins, and it's going to work. So Finn Guy gets around the 86 car. Up towards the front, Griffin trying to get 2nd place back. But Young not wanting to hand it over very easily. Young wants to get up there and dominate this race. Weeks has been one of the better cars I've seen all year. Him and Griffin both. And I'm just amazed at the speed they've had all season long. And they're going to be no slouch, and I'm sure that Griffin and Weeks are going to have another one of those fantastic battles for today's race. Finn Guy and Davis on fresh tires have marched their way towards the front, and now they are underneath of Dylan Young. Fresh tires looking like they're going to pay off in the long run here. But the other drivers that had fresh tires, they're not running as well as Finn Guy and Davis are. The 2 leaders continuing to show the pace here. Griffin trying to run down Dejon Weeks still. Jordan Davis now going to take the battle to Jeffrey Finn Guy. This is for 3rd. They've been marching their way towards the front. but they have not been able to make up enough ground on the two leaders right now. But Davis and Finguy, I'm sure this is going to be one of the good battles we'll watch all season as well if they continue to be as very close in performance as they have all season long. Up towards the front, Ryan Griffin looking for the race lead on Dejon Weeks. They welcome this battle. I mentioned it earlier in the race. Griffin and Weeks just absolutely have the most respect for one another. They love to go race each other out on the racetrack because they know both of them are really good drivers and worthy. And oh, Griffin's blowing up! Ryan Griffin, the point leader, is grenaded the engine. And Ryan Griffin's gonna fall out of the race. He was going for the race lead. And in the middle of turns 1 and 2, Ryan Griffin's race is done. Wow, a very similar situation for Weeks and Griffin. They were racing each other at Rockingham for the lead, and Weeks has a problem blowing up, and now it is Griffin's turn. Griffin blows up, and he's going to fall out of the race, and a tough break for Griffin. He's only going to earn 1 point for this race weekend. That opens the door for many guys to try and gain ground on Ryan Griffin here in the championship battle. Well, with Ryan Griffin blowing up there, that has allowed Dejon Weeks to get a really huge lead, and that has allowed everyone behind them to really bunch up and gain ground because they had to check up for Griffin. The only driver that is within a race of the point lead heading into this race is Jeffrey Finguy, and he is inside the top 5, and currently, if he could finish in the top 10, yeah, if he can at least finish in the top 10, just like he has in the first 5 races, Jeffrey Finguy will be your new championship leader. We're really getting ahead of ourselves here, but look at this. Where has Lewis came from? Will Lewis, who was kind of in nowhere all race weekend, he's in the top 5, trying to get redemption from California last week. And underneath the Finguy, Jesse Turner's there. Look at Cody Lamas. He's been very quiet, but he's in the top 10, trying to get to the top 5. However, here comes Jordan Davis trying to reel in that 38 car. And Davis really equal with Dejon Weeks when it comes to performance, really, because they both drive the same cars. Davis, a 2-time champion. Weeks, highly regarded in the garage area as the next best thing. And he's been so good this season in races that he hasn't had bad luck. And he's really drove a phenomenal season so far to start 2019. But Jordan Davis, a 2-time champion, he's one of the best that the series has ever seen. Him and Jesse Turner both. Turner comes onto the scene in 2015, wins the championship. Been in the series for a while, but in the modern era, Jesse Turner has been so good. And even with a lackluster season it has been, Turner wheeling his 17 car up to 3rd, and he's trying to get up there and battle it out and get the 17 crew a win here tonight. Man, and no time at all. It didn't take Davis or the field much time to catch the 38 of Dejon Weeks and Jordan Davis. The 2-time champion trying to get around his teammate there. Dejon Weeks has been very critical of the compliments he's been getting about being #1 there at Yamp Motorsports, saying that Davis and Young have been just as good as him, and that you need to pay an eye and pay more attention to Davis and Young, that they have equal chances to win races and championships. And Davis really showing the reason why he's a 2-time champion this season. He's been so hungry, especially after 2018 with Mace Enterprises. He leads here. He won here, his last win for Mace Enterprises, and currently his last win so far came at this race last year in Charlotte when he stole the win in the last few laps. Crash on the front straightaway. Jordan Fisher is around. A heavy collision from Jordan Fisher. Garrett Sidner in the 59 car. That's Johnny Gardner also involved. A heavy light from Jordan Fisher and Garrett Sidner. That was a big collision. Caution flag is out. Jordan Fisher ends up getting hit by Jose Mills, the rookie, through the grass. And that is a collision I thought was going to happen earlier in the race with Finguy and Griffin. And that's what would have happened, and that was a hard enough lick as well. But man, Garrett Sidner just plowed Jordan Fisher. That was a heavy lick. Here's another view of it. Jose Mills just doesn't give Fisher enough of a break to lay off of him, and Fisher goes around, gets hit by Gardner, and then Sidner, oh man. That is a hard hit. If you don't think guys race really hard deep in the pack, you're fooling yourself. Look at this battle. Unfortunately, Jordan Fisher gets hit in the left rear corner panel by a rookie, and a heavy wreck involved. Riding on board with Garrett Sidner, this is one of the hardest crashes. This is a big lick right there, and it's such a heavy lick to the right side. Gosh, that was a hard lick. We do hope that both drivers are okay, because that was a very vicious lick from both drivers' end. But on pit road now, we got a race to focus on. We're past halfway now. You have to start focusing. It looks like someone's got a little bit of damage, as you see some debris down there on pit road. So who's going to win the race off of pit road? The leader was Jordan Davis. Is he going to be able to get back out? Look at Will Lewis, a good run. Look at Jesse Turner going to get out in front of Will Lewis there. Dejon Weeks. Jeffrey Finguy had a slow pit stop. Jordan Davis emerges with the lead off pit road with Turner, Lewis, Finguy, and Weeks, your top 5. Really hoping that Fisher and Sidner are all right. That was such a nasty wreck. Coming to take the green again. It'll be 46 laps to go. Can these drivers make it all the way on fuel? I think they can. It is going to be Davis and Turner. Can Turner get Turner Performance back to victory lane? He's going to get a restart on Jordan Davis here. Will Lewis didn't really get up to speed as good as I thought he should be. Jeffrey White with a great run right now. Rookie driver for Yamp Motorsports. Very good, strong run for him. Matthew Enriquez is there in the top 10, or trying to get in the top 10. There's Sean Harpel having a good, solid run. Both drivers really need it. More so Sean Harpel. He's had a miserable start to the season. But Jordan Davis trying to get away. Turner in second place, but Weeks trying to get by Jeffrey Finguy. Will Lewis is there too, trying to get around him on the outside. Finguy trying to hold off Weeks. Jesse Turner is under fire from Jeffrey Finguy. And Turner has kind of struggled a little bit to be able to perform as high as the Yamp cars and the Allen family cars. Those two teams have just been dominant in the first 5 races, and this race, I would say, it's very similar. And Turner Performance is still not quite there in terms of just raw pace. And look at Turner getting blown away right now. You can tell that Turner Performance still has to go back to the shop for this off week coming up. And they have a lot to work. They have a lot of work to do. They are not that far off. They are very close to being a top team, just like they always have. But they are missing just a little bit of something that the other teams have that they don't. And here comes Dejon Weeks for second place on Jeffrey Finguy. Finguy and Weeks trying to get second place here. Jordan Davis leading the charge, trying to make it Yamp cars 1-2 at the point. And Jordan Davis looks very good right now, trying to pull the gap. But Dejon Weeks moves his way up to second place. I want to take a look deeper in the pack as we're a little past halfway. James Shelley is having a pretty solid day. We're running in the top 15 right now for Hero Motorsports. That's a pretty good solid effort right now. Harper holds the final 10th place spot right now with Rodriguez, Lamas, Collins, Shelley, and Sanford. That makes up the top 15. Nick Mace has really been nowhere all race, and he's down in 16th. Hoffman 17th, 18th is James Richardson, 19th Zachary Fitzwater, and rounding out the top 20 right now is Jake West. As we look deeper in the pack, Dylan Schwellenberg not having the best day. And on the outside the front row was John Arndt, and the Allen family racing cars have just had miserable luck since the Ryan Griffin fell out of the race. They have just kind of fell off. Ryan Acosta, Chris Dodd, they are outside the top 25. Bobby Jones hasn't had the best race weekend in terms of speed. DJ Curtis the same way. He's down in 27th. So really nothing good to say. And Luis Hernandez, more hurt for the Curtis Racing team. Hernandez, an unscheduled stop, but up towards the front. Looks as though the top 5 are breaking away. It is, oh, and look at that. Dejon Weeks has gotten around of Jordan Davis for the race lead. The front 5 breaking away now. Here's how it happened. Down the front straightaway, Dejon Weeks takes a peek to the inside. And you never know, this could be for the race for the win. But we have many laps to go, and Davis possibly saving his stuff right now. He knows he has a long way till the checker flag. We still have over 35 laps to go. While the front 5 break away, the battle for 6th is so intense. Look at this. Dom Capps, Jake Bassinger, Jeffrey White, Jesse Turner, Sean Harple. This is a scramble of a mess. Bassinger trying to win out. This is for 6th place. A spot in the top 10 is so critical, and Jeffrey White racing against champions of the series right now and having a fantastic show. That is a Yamp car in the 28, so I do expect White to be up to speed, and he is showing what he's capable of right now in a Cup car, and a great run nonetheless, racing here for 7th against the Season 6 champion. Nick Mace trying to push his way into the top 10. He's been out of the top 10 all race long, and there he is, going past the rookie of Jeffrey White. Nonetheless, Jeffrey White has had a very good run for minimal Cup starts he's ever had, and in a very good top-notch race car. He is up there battling against some great drivers the series has to offer. And Kyle Collins, he's trying to get in the top 10, trying to look for Nick Mace for a 10th place spot. But Mace holds off. Battle for 3rd place. Jeffrey Fengai getting around Will Lewis for that position. And here comes Dylan Young to the inside of Jeffrey Fengai. Young is trying to put Yamp Motorsports 1, 2, 3. Weeks is trying to pull the gap, but Davis isn't letting him get away so quickly. And Young under, oh, but not so fast. Here comes Jeffrey Fengai. Jeffrey Fengai's had such a great season so far in the 2019 season. Right now, if he can just finish in the top 10 for a 6th week in a row, Jeffrey Fengai will be the championship leader, and I believe that'll be the first time Fengai has ever sat atop the championship in the points for the Sony Cup Series. But Dylan Young puts Yamp Motorsports 1, 2, 3. While Allen Family Racing Team / Fengai Saitomi and Yamp Motorsports continue to dominate the early portion of this season, the Martin Rodriguez cars, the Turner Performance cars, and the Mace Enterprises cars have continued to scrap around in the bottom top 10 slots as Dom Capps gets around Jake Bassinger. That is for 6th. Bassinger drops down to 7th, Turner 8th, Mace 9th, Collins is 10th. Problems for John Art. The engine has let go for the 49 Toyota. And man, the 5th race in a row for the Martin Rodriguez Motorsport team. And the change of leadership has not changed anything for their lack of reliability. And John Art is going to fall out of the race and possibly out of the top 30 in owner points. I'm starting to get the feeling that Jordan Davis has Dejon Weeks exactly where he wants him right now. The 2-time champion is a smart driver, and Davis knows how to get it done when it matters most. And they are pulling the gap on everyone else. Weeks has a very fast car. but Davis does as well. And I think Davis is biding his time. And with less than 20 to go now, Jordan Davis, when is he going to make the move? Can he make the move on his teammate? They have been so good. Look at the gap they have built on their teammate of Dylan Young. They continue to hold a 1-2-3 for the organization. But Davis has Weeks where he wants them, and I think Jordan Davis is about to see what Dejon Weeks is made of in these final laps. Nick Mace trying to go around the outside of Jesse Turner. That doesn't look like the very smart move, but he's also a two-time champion, a very smart driver, same as Jesse Turner, a very smart driver. Kyle Collins trying to get in that as well. Matthew Rodriguez trying to also get in that scramble. Top 10 finishing spots are so critical in the championship battle. And for championship points, they add up very quickly. And Kyle Collins trying to join his teammate in the top 10 and hang on to it. Collins has had a very good 2019 season so far. He's not up there like Will Lewis is. Lewis is trying to get around Finn Guy for 4th. Will Lewis has had such a good year on his comeback. And he is doing a well of a job for Horizon Group as he continues to race. Jeffrey Finn Guy for 4th. His teammate of Kyle Collins is under fire. Look at this. What a battle. 3 wide, the Mace cars. And look at Sanford crowding Harple. 3 wide, a Mace Enterprises sandwich there. Mace getting shuffled out of line. Not sure that, look at this. Whoa, nearly some contact there. Sanford and Harple are desperate for a top 10 spot. They haven't had the best season to start off with like Nick Mace has. And Mace is like, all right, let's race, guys. Down to the inside of Sean Harple. James Shelley trying to reel these guys in. What a good race for Shelley. The pole sitter Ryan Acosta's back there. Trying to get back in the top 15. Right now it is Rodriguez and Collins that hold the final 2 spots in the top 10. Caps is trying to get around Jake Bassinger for 6th, but Bassinger has a really good car and just sails back around on the outside. And Turner on the inside trying to get around Dom Caps. Not going to happen there. And Collins underneath of Matthew Rodriguez. That's for 9th. Sanford, Mace, Shelley, Harple, Acosta. They are there, and they are trying to get extra points for finishing in the top 10. Mace underneath of his teammate of Charles Sanford. Further up, Turner, the 2015 champion, season 6 champion. A very far distance apart in championships, but Turner underneath of Dom Caps for 7th place. This would be a very solid performance for Turner and Bassinger both if they can finish 6th and 7th. And Turner gets around Dom Caps. Further back, Collins does get around Rodriguez, but a huge scramble there with Sanford, Mace, Shelley, Harple, Hoffman, Acosta. They're trying to run down that 99. Battle for 3rd has recently just heated up. Dylan Young is kind of struggling with his race car, and this has allowed Jeffrey Finn Guy and Will Lewis to battle that 88 for 3rd. And yep, Motorsports 1, 2, 3 is possibly going to be over as Finn Guy has the better hand of Dylan Young right now with 6 laps to go. Jeffrey Finn Guy sails into 3rd. Will Lewis trying to get 4th from him, but further up, Davis continues to hold just a slim margin right behind Dejon Weeks as they come to 5 laps to go. If Jordan Davis has anything for Weeks, he needs to start showing it. The laps are winding down. We are down to 4 laps of racing to go. Davis has closed in. Jordan Davis looking for another thrilling final laps at Charlotte. Jordan Davis stole the win away in the closing laps from Sean Harple here last time we were here at Charlotte. And Davis closed in on Weeks, but Weeks opened the gap back up in turn 3 and 4. Now with 3 laps to go, Jordan Davis, I don't know. Weeks looks like he's able to hold the 1 car off right now. Davis, I think, he's really turning it up right now, and I think Weeks is as well. As we come to 2 laps of racing to go, who is going to be the better Yamp car at the finish of this one? But further back for 3rd, Finn Guy's opening the gap up. Will Lewis has 4th. Young is back to 5th. So a lap and a half to go. Davis has really closed in. He is really good in 1 and 2. If he can just get a good run in 3 and 4, he may have a chance at him. And he is closer than he has been, really, in this entire run. The white flag flies one more time around for Dejon Weeks. Dejon Weeks looking for the checker flag. His teammate of Jordan Davis looking for his first win of 2019. He is right there. Can he make a move into turn 3? I don't think Davis is close enough. Not close enough for Davis to make a move into 3. And coming through 3 and 4, it's all over. Dejon Weeks captures his 2nd win of the season and holds off a hard charge from his teammate of Jordan Davis. Go all the way back to Jeffrey Finguy. And Finguy is going to be your new championship leader. And the first time, I believe, in his entire racing career, Finguy will sit atop the championship standings with 6 top 10s in a row right now. Will Lewis gets another top 5. He finishes 4th. Dylan Young 5th. 6th place, Jake Bassinger. He holds off Don Capps, and Capps holds off Jesse Turner for 7th and 8th. Collins gets 9th, and 10th goes to Matthew Rodriguez. Nick Mace falls short of a top 10 today in 11th. The pole sitter drops to 12th. Shelley, a great run for him on 13th. But man, a fantastic day for the Ant Motorsports team. They said, Dodge who? That's it. Like, they were better than Dodge by quite a bit, a little bit, throughout the race. And for them to stretch it out there at the end, that was very impressive. For Dejon Weeks and Jordan Davis, it is the 2nd win of the season for Dejon Weeks, and it is the 5th win of his career. A very deserved 5th win. Dejon Weeks, that is like a milestone win. Not many drivers get a chance to win a race, let alone 5 of them. And Weeks really coming into this season looking like he's one to beat. It's a shame that Ryan Griffin blew up, but it has really closed things up in the championship battle. We're going to be off for next week. No racing next week. It is Easter weekend. And for that, I say, look down below in the description. Join us on the Discord to get involved with the Sony Cup Series. And I will see you in 2 weeks' time when we go racing next time.